And now, from the HR Hall of Fame, the Nice Guys on Business Fuckery. And now, more fuckery from the Nice Guys. Be sure to wash your hands after listening and wait 30 minutes before swimming.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right. Roxanne! And it's just this kind of long shot as Nick Nolte is walking down the aisle to get to his cell. And he's still singing and singing. Like, it starts to get a little bit tired. It's like, okay, that was really funny at first. It's a little bit tired. And then he starts going, Roxanne, put on the red light. Roxanne, put on the red. I'm like, okay, that was fucking funny, right?
Oh, no, wait a minute. You think I'm funny, like a clown. Do the Nice Guys amuse you? Oh, yeah. I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as the Nice Guys on Business. I was thinking of the immortal words of Socrates, who said, "The nice guys drank what?" No, they're not superheroes, but that's just because they couldn't decide on what color to make the costumes. Although they do wear capes. Everywhere. 3 days a week, they're able to hold it together. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. Adults need not apply. No interviews, lots of ranting, and they sometimes stumble onto something useful. Go figure. Now it's time for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery themselves, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
So Doug and I are, hey, by the way, my name's Strickland Bonner, on the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. As we're prepping today, as we do, we prep for hours and hours before we actually record these things. And I get a text from Doug that says, well, I sent him, hey, I've got something fun because I've got a new cool drop that I like. And he said, okay, I need fun. That's never a good sign. Why do you need fun, Doug?
Well, you missed the text message that preceded that, which was, I'm cleaning cat poop.
Oh yeah, I know. Didn't you see? I sent back fun and then an emoji of a guy puking in green. Yeah.
Oh my God. If there's one thing that I can recall when I had two small children that would just completely turn my stomach, it was when my kids, and kids are kids. They get sick, they have accidents, shit happens. And man, it happened. And I just had this complete flashback to my kids when they were little. And one of the cats, and we have 3 cats that are permanent residents here in the house, and we have 2 that we're fostering. And I'm thinking the 2 foster kittens, something smells. So
boy.
And they're in the next door office, JJ's office. She keeps them there just because I'm not a big smell fan. I don't like smells. So I was thinking that the smell was coming from the 2 kittens, and I realized that we have one special kitten in our house.
Special kitten.
We have a special. I love my special cat. She's wonderful, but she has a vision problem. So maybe there was some issue with finding the litter box or something. She's very smart, but she just has some vision issues. So she came into my office. She jumped up on my desk. And I'm like, oh my God, the smell is coming from the cat. And the cat her leg was just filled with shit.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, and now I've lit candles. I got incense going in my office.
Wow.
My entire office is being, oh gosh, I'm bombing my office with smell good stuff right now.
Damn. Yeah, that's bad.
It's bad stuff. I was willing to cancel I was going to cancel the entire episode this week. I'm like, no, I can't possibly go through with this.
Dude,
but I must.
The show must go on. I mean, come on,
Shit
through rain,
happens.
through sleet, through hail, through dead of night, and through cat poop, we've got to do what we got to do. It is Thursday night. This episode will be released in like 10 hours.
We are have to do so pathetic.
We're dedicated. I was going to say dedicated, but you spin it however you want.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm going to look at it as pathetic because, we first had, when were our episodes? Our episodes were on Wednesdays, right? They were on Wednesdays. So we would record like on Saturday before because we had plenty of time. And that was the time when we usually recorded. And then we thought when we moved it to Friday, well, now we have the entire week to do it. So we'll still end up recording on the weekend and we'll do it for the following week. And How many times has that actually happened?
Like once, I think, maybe. It's
Maybe the
usually
first
Wednesday night or Thursday night. It was last night. We're on our team meeting, and it was like, "Hey, we need to record an episode this week." Oh yeah, we do. Shit. Yeah, it's a different kind of dedicated.
I was about to let you off the hook because JJ and I we're about to record an episode of either Spirit, Purpose, Energy, or Women, Men, and Relationships, or maybe something for Inner Circle or one of the other 12 podcasts that she hosts. Mm-hmm. And as we were about to do it, I'm thinking, yeah, I have a specific topic that I want to cover that I covered in the team meeting last night, which was The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, which is an amazing book. And so I was actually going to chat with her about that instead of chatting with you about it. And then you're like, hey, I'll be ready in 5 minutes. And apparently you really wanted to record tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Come on. We can't let people down. I mean, if some Friday, if you, listener, Funkin' fan, if you tune in and you hear, okay, so the 65 Mustang, I really like, then you'll know that we just dicked around and didn't do it. And we had to put on one of Doug's Mustang podcasts instead.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Well, you may start looking for guest co-hosts for a couple of weeks because at the end of this month, I'm going to Italy for 10 days, and then I have New Media Summit right on the heels of that, and JVology right before that. So there's going to be like I want to say a minimum of 2 and maybe 3 weeks that we're either going to have to record some stuff ahead of time, or we're going to you're gonna need a co-host, and then by that time I probably won't even want to come back.
Well, I guess we'll have to figure it out. God forbid we have to plan something ahead of time, but we may have to actually do that. Or I'll call maybe Jenny Bellinger or something. We'll figure it out.
I know. So what did you have that was fun?
Well, we don't actually have a voicemail from Jared this week.
I don't believe that we do.
Okay, I've got to play this anyway. A couple weeks ago, I said I was going to record a intro, like a music bumper, right, for when Jared leaves a voicemail for us, right?
Right, okay.
I've gotten busy. I don't have time for this shit, so I just farmed it out. I paid somebody to do it.
You paid somebody to do what?
To do a bumper for us for Jared.
Okay. Well, wait, not Steve O'Brien?
No, because I wanted like a musical one, right? Like I was thinking something fun and like rockin' and heavy metal and like a singer and like a song kind of thing, right?
Oh, okay.
So I hired a guy and I haven't actually heard it yet. I mean, the guy talking to him on the phone, he sounds like a good guy. Maybe a few too many bonks in the head and a few too many quaaludes in the 80s, but he seemed like a real rock and roll guy, right? I've heard some of his clips of his band from the 90s, and it's rocking. It's good. I kind of like it.
You're setting this up really good, so I'm really curious. Who this is.
Well, I told him a little bit about Jared. And I told him about like the show and what we're all about, and it's fuckery and all that. And so he recorded something. He wrote the music and he did the singing, and I haven't actually heard it yet. But I got it right here. You ready to take a listen? This will be the music we can play before we play a voicemail from Jared. Okay. In the future, which we can't do now because we don't have one. And as soon as Jared hears this, he's going to be like, fuck, why didn't I leave a message? Oh my God. Right. But now you're encouraging him to leave a message.
All right. I am, you've prepared me as well as one could possibly be prepared for this. So I am ready. I am ready. Play it.
Okay, here we go. Here it goes.
We got a voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared, voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Screw the rest of y'all. I didn't tell him to say that. That's
so I have some. Can I throw in some critique and some actually some accolades too?
Yeah.
Number one, that was amazing. That was really good. When did you have a chance?
Interesting.
When did you have a chance to connect with that rock and roller that actually did that?
It was last week. Last week I did that. And
Where did
I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know how long it would take him to turn it around. It was interesting. It was.
Where did the backing tracks come from exactly?
He wrote it. I don't know if this was something that he actually got his band together to record it, or if like this was something he had hanging out, or from it. I have no idea. But this guy did it all.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty good. So the music, I don't know if it was on my end of the recording because I kept hearing a couple of MP3 skips. Now is that the quality of the music, or was that?
I don't think so. It sounded pretty good from my end. I think that might have been your internet connection.
Okay. All right. So the other thing I might add to that is there a way to maybe tighten it up a little, just shorten it just a little, because the lyrics
is kind of long, right? He says a voicemail from Jared like 6 or 8 times or something. I'll give him a buzz and see if he can tighten it up. Yeah.
I would be really interested in maybe just, could I hear it one more time? Because I want to listen to it and stop laughing while I'm listening.
Right. Okay, here we go. Let's take a listen.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Nice. Okay.
He does have a lot of heart. I'll give him that. He's got a lot of heart. Yeah.
He really does. Did that happen to get done after, right after a maybe a band rehearsal or something like that?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I mean, he's got range, but I don't know. I would not call him Steve Perry. No. Definitely
Okay.
not.
So I put out a very urgent message to Jared, to Tim, and to Jenny, who are three. They're pretty. Tim not necessarily is in not as common a voicemail leaver as Jenny, and especially not as Jared. So just wanted to see where they were. Maybe we could get something from them, just so that maybe
for this show right now,
Yeah,
like they could record something and okay.
Yeah, and probably at the time that it would take to probably send a text message back, they could probably just go ahead and do that, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Good idea.
So the two messages that I got back from Tim and from Jared. So here was the message. I go, no voicemail, ? Exclamation point, ? Dang, we're recording right now. So if you want to do it now, do it. So from Jared, I'm gonna love up on you a little bit, and I'm gonna slap you around a little bit.
Which
LOL.
is exactly what you do to us.
Right, exactly. LOL. I got nothing. I'm slacking this week. And then Tim wrote, when is the deadline? And then I wrote now. And then Tim wrote back, I just finished a trade show, just vegging out. And then Jared wrote, all right. So maybe that means it's coming now. I have no idea. So,
Tim, I want to point out to you, Tim, okay, you just finished a trade show, you're vegging out, right? So I'm assuming you are hitting the hotel minibar, you're realizing that there's no Tito's, so you go down to the liquor store, you buy Tito's because you're not going to do that off-brand vodka shit that's in the minibar that costs like 3 times as much anyway, right? So now you're back in the room, you got your glass, you got your ice, you're getting ready to pour some Tito's. Instead of taking the time to work your thumbs, texting back, hey, I just finished a trade show, just press the button. You have Doug on speed dial, okay?
Yeah.
You got it on speed dial. As soon as you hear it connect, right, you just start pouring glug, 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 glug. You shake the ice cubes around a little bit.
Yeah.
You slurp some down and just go, Tennessee Tim, nothing like a good Tito's. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then just hang up. That's all we need. Tim, I'm a little disappointed.
Well, let's not completely throw either one under the bus right now, because I did put out the plea, and then I did get back the 2 messages. One from Jared, all right. Now, I don't mean that's like, all right, fuck you, or that means, all right, I'm going to do it. And then Tim wrote back, give me a few minutes. Who is the 440 area code? Is that Jared? So, all right. So I don't really know if they're going to leave messages. I have not heard back from Jenny yet. She's a little bit too famous for us right now, so not 100% sure what's going on. Let's find out if by the end of the episode that they would be willing to leave a message. I mean, leave a voicemail for us.
Here, they got about 15 minutes because I know you got a date with Walmart tonight. Or is it to clean up more poop off of
Oh, my God, I hope not. I got candles burning, incense. I got essential oils now working too. I got all things. And, underneath all of that, I can still smell the poop.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, Jared said he did leave a message. So now I'm waiting for the message to come through to my voicemail. And then once it comes through, I'm just going to zip that in. Let's see how quickly we can pull this off technology-wise. We are professionals. We can do it, can't we?
We can totally do this. We've done it before. We'll do it again. It's all good. It's all good. So the topic, I mean, we have a couple, but really the good one is what you just brought up, the big leap. Because I bought the audio version last night. So we had our turnkey meeting last night. And Doug recommends this book to everybody on the team called The Big Leap. And he even says that he will pay for it if people buy the book. Like anybody on our team will pay for it. And I've already started listening to it.
Slight correction, though. I was hoping that maybe that we would pay for it, not just me.
Well, yeah, the company, right? Turnkey. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I think we can afford the $12. Yeah, I think we can.
Yeah. So have you started it yet?
I have. I'm already, I'm not halfway through. I'm like into the second chapter. I like it so far. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, hold on a second. Before we get there, I got to download the message and then upload it to the Dropbox. Jared did leave a message. I guilted him into it. So give this a quick second, and then Strickland, if you would be so kind as to play this before we get into the serious part of the episode here, because I know as soon as we start doing something like book reports and book reviews, I know it's going to
get
all downhill from there. All right, it's in the drive right now. Just go ahead and now it's interesting. There should be a way that Google can automatically fire that into the NGOB voicemail Google Drive. It is all connected all together. Isn't there a way we should be able to do that?
That would be pretty cool if we could do that. I have no idea how to do it, but it's ready to go. As soon as you're ready to hear it, it's ready to go.
I have no idea what's on it, just like I have no idea what's on other things. So I'm ready to. I'm ready to listen to Jared's.
That's what she said. Right.
Very
okay.
Nice.
Sorry. Here we go. Jared's voicemail. I'm not going to play the music again because I played it twice already. Jared, I hope you enjoyed it.
Hold on.
You want to hear it again?
Wait a minute. The only reason I wanted the voicemail following
was to hear the music again.
There is our listeners are amazing. Tim is now leaving a message now.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, if you really want to hear it again, I'll play it again, and then I'm going to talk to him about getting a shorter version for next week, maybe.
I think the problem is Tim is leaving a message on my actual voicemail, so I'm actually going to be playing that through my phone.
Different.
No, Tim. All right, we'll figure this out in just a moment. Okay, but let's do the we do the bumper music, getting into it, and then we'll do the Jared's voicemail.
Okay, here we go.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared. Voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Hey Doug, hey Strick, Jared here. So I had to call in. You prompted me, Big D, and so here I am. So I wanted to comment on the customer service experience you had. Customer service is like so, I don't know, 1900s now. I think is what the problem is. Nobody wants to give it. And those that do, I feel like stand out like crazy. I'm kind of picky about customer service because that's something I pride myself in, is taking care of my clients, and even people who aren't my clients, I try to go out of the way for them. But I definitely have to totally agree with you. Kind of the opposite of the nice guys on business, because, customer service. I'm supposed to have these little pins that I can put on to say nice guys fuckery, but I don't have them. So, kind of the opposite of that. Anyways, guys, love the show. Keep it up. And yeah, I'll probably harass you next week. I just, I'll keep it going.
Thank you.
Even on demand, he still comes up with the Jared sandwich, right? Yeah. It's like the praise, the smackdown, and then the praise.
Yeah, shit like that happens for sure. So, it's interesting. Jared brought up a valuable point. I forgot completely about the follow-up because I don't think I've done any of the follow-up with you yet, have I?
Yeah. About what? The pins?
No, not the follow-up on the pins.
Oh, no, I'm dying to know about
on Webinar Jam.
Okay, before I want to hear about that, but before, it's the bumper music is kind of growing on me a little bit. Do you remember? You ever see 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte?
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's kind of around the same time as Beverly Hills. Wait, what did you just
It was
call,
right before Beverly Hills Cop. I think 48 Hours was one of his first movies, and then Beverly Hills Cop, we started getting really big, right? So the opening scene, for those of you that don't know, it's Eddie Murphy's in jail, right? And Nick Nolte's going to break him out. So there's this shot walking down in a prison, right? And so you haven't seen Eddie Murphy yet. I think maybe they show a shot of him and he's singing Roxanne, from The Police, right? Okay. He's just in his cell all by himself, no music or anything. Maybe I think he's got headphones on, right? That's why he's doing it. So, and it's not really good. Okay. So it's just, you see him in his cell and he goes, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right. Roxanne! And it's just this kind of long shot as Nick Nolte is walking down the aisle to get to his cell, and he's still singing, and it's okay, it starts to get a little bit tired. It's okay, that was really funny at first. It's a little bit tired, and then he starts going, Roxanne, put on the red light. Roxanne, put on the red. I'm like, okay, that was fucking funny, right? That's kind of how I feel. It's he does the first 3 or 4, and it's okay, that's kind of funny. Okay, it's getting a little tired. Oh, that note, that was fucking funny. Okay.
So sorry, it kind of reminds me, and I know we've talked about this many times, but it kind of reminds me of the Austin Powers when he comes back.
Right, the P shot. I'm going to find that on YouTube. I'm sorry, go ahead. I shouldn't have presumed which scene you were talking about.
No, you're right. It was the P shot. You're 100% right. That's exactly right. Where he's just oh my God, it was funny, and then it stopped being funny because it was too long, and then it started being funny.
And it was funny because it was so fucking long.
It was the extended laugh. Wait, before you go to the...
I type in, I go to YouTube, and I type in Austin, right? Mm-hmm. That's as far as I got in Austin. So you're thinking, Austin, Texas, whatever. Austin Powers Peas Forever. It's the very first goddamn thing that comes up. This movie's got to be 20 years old. Oh my God.
I think you have cookies in there because it's probably the last time you did it. Let's see if now the true test of this is if I just type in the word Austin, what will come up for me, right? Oh, I got to go to Google, don't I? Austin,
yeah, no, you're right. I may have put it in a link at some point in the past, but it would have had to have been at least a year ago or more, 2, 3.
I don't even know how to do that. Austin Powers.
Well, you could just do it. Are you in
none
OneNote?
Of them. Austin. As soon as I type in Austin, all the in your OneNote, you did it.
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, well, definitely it's going to come up in one. Oh no. Okay,
will it?
Cool.
I don't know.
Austin, Texas is the first thing that comes up in mind.
Yeah,
then the Rolling Stones are coming to Austin this year. That was the next thing. And then man sentenced to prison after Pflugerville sexual assault. I don't even know what that is. So
Pflugerville.
Anyway,
I'm right next to Pflugerville.
Well, Strickland, you have gotten away. You obviously framed someone else. So
wow.
Hey, there is a second voicemail in the inbox now. So would you like to play that? Boy, our listeners, our funkin' fans, they jumped right into action.
I love that.
Did you want to download that, or you want me to?
Well, hang on. So I had to get away from the PC and hold on. Wait a minute. Voicemail. Did you replace the first one? There's only one
Yeah,
file.
I
in there.
replaced
Oh,
the
you
first one.
deleted
There's
the
one
other one.
file in there. Yes, I wanted to make
Okay.
sure that you knew exactly which I was doing you a
thank
favor.
you.
I thought I was
appreciate
doing a
that.
favor.
You did.
Hey,
You're
the
all
other thing,
good.
before you play Tim's voicemail, you know how I've referred many times to We Have Concerns, the podcast.
Yeah.
I've made reference to that, as it has been a show that I have enjoyed over the last several years. What I discovered just yesterday, because I haven't tuned into the show in quite some time, thinking it was a highly successful show. They did 600 freaking episodes. I'm thinking this is a really good show. It's got a long tail on it. It's going to stay around for a long time. They haven't produced an episode since July of 2018.
What?
So,
We Have
I know.
Concerns?
So
That's a
it's
year
like-
and a half.
it was a year and a half ago. That must have been.
2018.
Here's what happened. I remember that thing I had. What was that? Oh yeah, my wife left me. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was April of 2018, and I guess I really threw myself heavily into We Have Concerns because I needed just kind of like a comedic outlet for
You had
you know,
concerns. I understand.
Yeah, because I did have concerns. And I
Yeah.
listened to it, and I used to go on my meditation walks and my panic attack walks. I used to take the We Have Concern podcast with me because it was kind of a really good show to listen to kind of laugh a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sad to find out that since July of 2018, they haven't produced an episode. So I'm thinking, yeah, probably about the time I moved to California, which was around July of 2018, because I've been here almost 2 years now. They haven't produced an episode. So somehow I'm thinking that maybe one of those two guys maybe cheated on my wife with me, with my ex-wife, and maybe that's why the show is now actually over. Do I have a leg to stand on in court with that?
That's
You see how I made the connection? Did you see how I made the connection?
That's a stretch. Yeah.
Come on, Strickland. It's obvious to me that the reason she left was because of one of these two guys. Now, they're both married, so I don't know. Their marriages seem to have worked out, or maybe they didn't. Maybe after they stopped doing the show, maybe they came out of the closet with their relationship. I don't know. I just don't know.
Maybe we should just listen to the voicemail now, you think?
That was a stretch, huh? Stretch?
Yeah, that's a stretch. Yeah.
Hey, Doug and Strick, Tennessee Tim.
What's up,
Just
Tim?
calling to say hey, and I know that I've been a little bit absent, but January, my industry is always just crazy with trade shows. I've been to a trade show in Las Vegas, Orlando, National Sales Meeting in California, and then all my regional trade shows. So I've just been too busy to leave anything on the Facebook group or anything like that. So still out here. Miss y'all. I will get back to my normal meme posting self and keep up the good work. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Tim, as much as we appreciate the call, I didn't hear any Tito's in the background. What's up with that?
I was thinking that maybe he was either half in the bag at that point already. You know, when you drink from the bottle, you don't get the ice out. I don't know. The other thing is, he goes, okay, so help me with this. He goes, still out here, Michelle. Did you hear that
Did
part?
he say Michelle? I missed that. I wasn't paying enough
I don't know. I'm looking at the transcription, and it said still out here.
Transcription. Yeah,
Google puts it into transcription mode for you too, just in case you need to see what the words are, in case you need a clandestine type of approach to listening to your voicemail. You can look at the transcript. So let it be known at the transcript. He says, "Still out here, Michelle," and I'm thinking it's kind of like the Beatles reference. Paul is a dead man. We miss him. We miss him.
Michelle, my belle. That could be. You never know.
Do you think if we play it backwards, we will hear Jenny is a dead woman? We miss her. We miss her.
And if you play that backwards, it will still sound like gibberish. Of course, who's got a turntable anymore, right? How do you play it backwards? Oh, I guess you just do the reverse thing. You could put it into an editing app and just say reverse, and it would flip it around for you.
Yeah, which is really interesting because I don't understand why this feature is on my electronic deck, my digital deck for my DJ business.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there is a feature where I just hit the button and it will play whatever it just played backwards for you. And I'm thinking,
it's for bleeping out bad words.
No, they have plenty of other buttons for that. I have a button that is pressed for the whatever, make it indiscernible. But I don't understand what the reverse button is for, other than just playing something backwards. But maybe that's a thing. Maybe I can create my own samples doing backwards. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, so should we get into the book a little bit, because I think it's kind of interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious just out of the gate. Again, we're talking about Gay Hendricks' book called The Next Big Leap: Conquer Your Hidden Fear and Take Life to the Next Level. And maybe if there is any business advice that you want to hear, maybe forward the episode to maybe right around minute 28. So could you use that? Could you maybe put that in the beginning of the episode? Maybe that's going to be the part, if you wanted to hear anything business related, just forward to episode to minute number 28, where you'll probably hear something. Would you want to do that, or you?
I'll put the note in, I guess. But usually when people listen to the fuckery, it's because they want the fuckery. I'd more likely put a note in saying, at minute 28, we actually start talking about business. So you probably want to plan on hitting stop at that point.
Okay, well, maybe that's the case if it's just Although, those that are listening to the.
So far, this book is more than business. It's definitely, I think, can be helpful personally too. So
I agree. I agree. What's really interesting is today I did an interview with the guys that are the founders and creators of Headliner, which is a social media posting platform, and or creation or content creators platform for creating social media posts. Anyway, so the two guys are on with me, and they're talking about. I thought it was going to go bad, because in the beginning they said, "Hey, we've had a chance. We've been booked on the show for a couple of months now. We've had a chance to listen to some episodes of the show." And my first thought is, "And you still showed up." So that was the first thing I thought. And then he followed it by like, "Yeah, I was really enjoying the episode. I think you guys really have a good banter back and forth, and you ask good questions on your interview." And it was obvious to me that he actually had listened to several of the episodes, which. Nice. Is very interesting, because I don't know that I've had a guest that legitimately has listened to any of the episodes, and 750 of them. You figure one or two may, but until today, I never really was secure in that feeling. So where you are in the book, which is, let's say, 25 or 30 pages in, can you maybe share like something that you feel is important that you've gotten out of the book yet? Because I really want to, instead of injecting my thoughts into why I'm enjoying the book so much, I'm really hoping that maybe you could share what has inspired you from the book, so far.
Well, I've listened so far on my way to work and on my way home. So I'm literally 25 minutes, 30 minutes in. I'm not far enough in yet. I'm far enough in to see where he's going.
Got it.
Okay. But that's really it. So Obviously I've listened to a lot of, business books. I've listened to a lot of self-help books. And so I can get a pretty good idea pretty quick of the direction that somebody's going in. And that's where I am with it right now. And I really like it, but I haven't gotten far enough into it to say, I'm excited about this.
Okay, so let me share just one thought, and then we'll come back maybe next week, and we'll share a couple more thoughts about it, because I think it really is interesting. And I really never understood this, and I'm going to need your help a little bit in the interpretation of this, or what your feelings are about the thoughts that I'm about to share, because I really do think that I have been pretty much wasting my entire life. Maybe I want your interpretation of this. So there's four stages that you really, or there are four stations, let's say, that you really could be within when you are working or in your relationships or anything that you're doing. And those four stages are your zone of incompetence, where, and I'll come back and explain these if we need to. They're pretty obvious though. Zone of incompetence, your zone of competence, your zone of excellence, and your zone of genius.
Right.
Now, I think that we've shared this a number of times over the course of the last 5 years, and I think you even introduced me to this concept, or somebody did, and I certainly didn't think of it by myself. And I've never read Gay Hendricks' book before, so somebody must have planted the seed in my head. But where I've tried to really strive to get to, and last year I set the goal that I'm going to stay within my zone of genius of selling and building relationships. Mm-hmm. And I really truly think that that I've been wrong. That I don't think that my zone of genius is selling and building relationships. I think that that's my zone of excellence. So the order is your zone of incompetence. Those are the things that you really shouldn't be doing because you have no business doing them. You're not good at them, and you're not making money or benefiting from them at all. your zone of competence, things that you can do, but you probably shouldn't do. You know how to do them. Something like, hey, I can get on the computer and probably get into a spreadsheet and do it, but because I'm competent, I understand how to do it. I don't enjoy doing it, but I can do it. So that would be my zone of competence. My zone of excellence, the things that I excel at, but I have limiting beliefs and I hit my upper limits. I can't get beyond wherever I am in success because I'm really comfortable, and most people are comfortable within their zone of excellence because it's the things they're really good at. But then this next part, the part that really has eluded me until I started thinking about it, and JJ and I've talked about this at length in the last couple of days since we read this, your zone of genius. And your zone of genius really, to me, and according to the book, is that station where, or in that position or that feeling that you get where you are invincible. It's kind of like that feeling when I'm on stage and I'm talking to an audience and I'm no longer thinking about the material that I'm sharing with the audience. I'm so in the zone and I'm so excited, just like I am right now, because I totally get where my head is. I want to make that feeling. I want to have that feeling that everything is going to be amazing. And I don't care about money. I don't care about relationships. I don't care about anything. I'm just so in flow that it all works out. And that's when you're in your zone of excellence, that period, that complete euphoria where you're so captivated and captivating with whatever you're presenting or doing, whatever it could be. It could be something as simple as making candles. It could be something like on the computer when you're like, do you know for sure where you gravitate, or can you relate to any of those zones?
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. And I think that, where this book, and you kind of hit it on the head as to what I like about it so far. Again, I'm very early in, but we have talked about the zone of genius before, and that definitely was my plan for both of us, is for both of us to stay in our zones of genius, because I'm really not a salesman and I don't like doing that stuff, and you don't like spreadsheets and like systems and shit like that. So what this guy talks about is, look, forget zone of genius, right? There's more. There's so much more that you can do than you think you can do. There's this zone of excellence. It's even beyond that. It's the
zone of excellence is the one that's below zone of genius. The zone of genius, yeah, you got it backwards. That's okay. I got it backwards too, but right, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Zone of genius is where we are, and zone of excellence is where, like, maybe we've never been, but we need to go, and that we all have
other way.
Whatever Doug just said. Okay. That's, I like it.
Yeah. Just so everybody is clear, you go through incompetence, competence, excellence, and zone of genius. Genius is that point where everything is in flow and you're completely getting it, and everybody gets you, and you love what you're doing. And it doesn't matter if there's money, relationships, anything attached to it. It's just that you are in the best possible place that you can be, and you're totally in the zone. So what would be that thing for you? And you may not have the answer to that. I know that I'm just dropping you on this dropping this on you right now. But the question is, what is it that gives you so much joy that you would do it free and never need to make a cent at it, because this is where you feel so good? It just so happens that when you're in that zone of genius, that people will, if you're thinking about zone of genius as it relates to business, that is the area that people will pay you your biggest sum of money. Mm-hmm. So any idea where that is for you?
I mean, it's probably playing music, but it's tough because, like, I know when I was in a band when I was much younger and I was doing 4 or 5 nights a week, I get burned out on it. I don't enjoy it as much when I do it that often. Right. But right. I love playing music, but it's also, partly I love solving problems and systems. Like, I would say my zone of genius at my day job, I mean, that's what I do all day is I'm solving puzzles and solving problems. And that's what I love doing too. Absolutely.
Can I tell you something so funny about that? Because when, Nice Guy Community, you're not aware of this, of course, but Strickland was here a couple weeks ago, and we were doing some systems improvements for Turnkey. We've created there is a project management software called Monday.com. And not in my thing. So not my thing. And, you kind of prep me ahead of time. Hey, look, I'm going to come out to California because you got this masterclass that you're running. And on the Sunday after the masterclass, why don't we get together and we'll do some of the brainstorming to try to make improvements on this? And yes, I heard you. Yes, I know that it's important. And yes, I know it's something that needs to be done. But can I tell you, and I know that this is the way I think, when you told me that, I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's like,
Which is exactly why I did it with Marjorie as much as we could before we brought you in, because I know it's not your thing at all.
I totally know that, but you were so excited about it. And to me, it's like, it's the best thing to know that when you're working with somebody that, you and Marjorie, I think that you really enjoy, probably you more so, a little bit more so than even Marjorie, but you very much enjoy the problem solving aspect of what you do. And that is not like my thing. It's the system stuff. It's just, I love creating like parts of the system. Like I can create a video. You say, hey, create a video that will solve this problem. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Here it is. And you give me my to-do list and my task list and I will do it. But you tell me, okay, we're going to sit down and solve this problem. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I really do think that probably somewhere in there is part of your zone of genius. Now, when you get to the point where your zone of genius falls back to your zone of excellence, like the stuff that you like to do when you start to do it too much, like you really love being in the band, but you love being in the band not because you like picking up your instrument, setting up the gear, going out to a gig, doing all the you liked it for, I'm assuming, the satisfaction and the performance aspect of it, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
But all of the other shit that comes along with it, you probably didn't like that. And you multiply that times, how many gigs were you doing in your busiest year?
Well, when I was in college, I had a year that I played 200 dates, but when I was doing weddings, but that was like kind of fun dipping around stuff. When I was doing weddings, I would do 75 dates a year sometimes, but the weddings, it was a lot of work because it's not just playing. I mean, like running the show and dealing with the clients and all that stuff, but I still loved it every weekend for the first 23 or 24 years.
And what's your number? Yeah. And I feel the same way. I mean, I was doing from 1990, probably 95 till 2015. I probably was doing 75 to 105 gigs every freaking year.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. I loved almost every one of those jobs that I did, but you're right. It gets to the point where, okay, now I've been doing this for 20 some odd years, nearly 20 years or nearly 30 years or whatever, however long it was. And I'm like, oh God, the thought of all of those setups and breakdowns and equipment issues and all of the stuff, I didn't like. I love dealing with the families. I love the idea of being an authority and people would actually want to talk to me about it. And there was really no, I'm good at selling. I don't like selling though. I'm good at it. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, that probably is within my zone of excellence, but not my zone of genius. My zone of genius is training, is talking to people. It's when I get them to see and that light goes off in their head when I'm in, again, I use that word flow, but when I use the word flow, I'm thinking it's the process in me that I don't have to think about the words that I'm saying. They just start coming out. And that for me is when I'm totally in my zone of genius. So I don't want to revise my goals for 2020 because I think that there are a number of times I'm going to have to stay in my zone of excellence, selling, building relationships, JV partnerships, that kind of stuff. But I really do want to start to figure out what is that next step? Because that next step, when you start to get in that zone of genius, then those upper limiting beliefs that you have start to disappear. And the combination of being in your zone of genius and not having any upper limit like blocks for you is when you start hitting that level of success where you take a company from a couple $100,000 to $1 million to $5 million a year. And it's like, okay, seems to be good. So I'm going to work on getting Gay Hendricks on the show because I think he would be a really, really good guy to talk to.
Definitely. I totally agree.
So anyway, I wanted to share that about the next or the big leap because I think that if you're in our audience and you are a fan of self-help and improvement and doing good by yourself, I think that the big leap would be a great book for you to buy. And maybe here, let me just put a link. Where should I put this link, Strick? Just so I make sure that get in it.
I'm making the show notes right now because I'm getting ready to post. So just go ahead.
I just put it in the chat box there. You can.
And what is? Is that for the book?
You want with it. That is for the book. I don't know if we have a affiliate arrangement with Amazon. Just put it in there.
$13 book, we'd get 4 cents.
12 cents.
Forget it.
Yeah. Okay. Just give them the link. This is how much we think that you're important to us, Nice Guy community.
We don't even care about the.
Don't even care about it. But if, of course, you did want to buy the Ultimate Podcast Launch Formula, our DIY course, that would be great. That's $497, by the way. Go ahead and click here.
Click here.
Just click here for that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to talk about, and I want to give our community a little bit of homework to do if they would, because I think that this would be a really good thing to talk about too. I gave to you a link, and you did listen to it because I think we exchanged some emails on it, and so did Matt and Joe. But as we start to work a little bit more with Evergreen Profits, that is a company that's owned by two buddies of ours, Joe Fear and Matt Wolf. They spent an entire episode talking about the things, again, talking about zones of genius, zone of excellence, whatever it is that you think that you're in. They talk about the things that they are good at. And they do it in terms of affiliate marketing and what it means to be a good affiliate marketer. And I love their explanation. And if those of you that are in our community that are tied into online marketing of any kind, or you have any type of online business that you do, and nowadays, who doesn't? I mean, there's very few people that just provide a service or a product that is not attached to the internet. If you have an internet-based product or an online business, I highly encourage you to check out the Hustle and Flowchart podcast. And let me go see if I can find in the episode itself, Hustle and Flowchart podcast, because I think it was last Tuesday, but probably by the airing of this, it might have been, I don't know how many, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So we'll put a link in the show notes for that as well. I don't know how to get to it right now. Hustle and Flowchart. It's not. For some reason, my Apple is down. My Apple is down.
Oh, gee, how could that, your brand new Apple, how could that possibly happen?
My computer's not down. I just don't understand why. There we go. Hustle and Flowchart. Okay, so therapy session, January 28th. Here, I'm going to put this link, copy link.
Hey, he actually has another book called The Joy of Genius.
So here's where I get into that state of overwhelm. Like when I see something that somebody does, and then I see that they've written 17 other books. No, there's so many areas of therapy that I can go into.
Yep, I know what you mean.
I'm still trying to figure out why my dad hit my mom, in 1966. I mean, like I can't work through all of these things at one time.
I got you. Okay, good point. Yep.
So the big step is the big leap is the one that I want you to check out. So do that.
I got the link in the show notes.
All right, check out the link in the show notes. And I also, if you could put that next link that I just left in there for Joe and Matt's Hustle and Flowchart podcast, that episode. It is called Therapy Session, Unapologetic Affiliate Marketing Strategies.
I'm on it.
Got that one too? God, you were so efficient.
I'm all over it. Dude, I'm all about the systems,
Also, as a quick update from Podcast Magazine, I did have an opportunity to interview Steve O'Brien, which hopefully in the next edition or the following one after that, I don't know what the deadlines are for the magazine, but it is a free subscription. Here's one more link that you could add. This would be great. Podcast here, I'll just put it podcastmagazine.com. Just add that to the show notes as well. You get a free lifetime subscription. I'm writing an article. I just finished the interview yesterday with Steve O'Brien. You know the voice, but you don't know the man. And I get into a little bit of history with Steve O'Brien. It's a really interesting article, how he got started, what his beginnings were, where he is heading.
Now, is that in this
philosophy?
Is that in this premiere episode, or is it in the next episode?
No, it's going to be either in the next. It's an edition because it's not an episode like a podcast. It's actually a written document. So it's a digital written document. So the article will be written. The article will be written in the next week or two, but I don't know that if it comes out in this coming edition or the following one. So just go ahead and go to podcastmagazine.com, get your free subscription. There is no attachment to it. All you have to do is get your free subscription. And when the article comes out, I'll make reference to it. Once the article comes out, I'll air the interview on the show at the same time, and we'll promote it. So nice. The interview was only about 15 minutes long, but when it comes to written text, that's exactly.
Busy guy.
Anyhow, he is. Steve is a very busy guy. Very busy indeed. Anyway, so that's all I got, Strick. I don't know if you want to cut it here, if there's anything else that you want to go over, or anything going on in your life that you want to talk about at all.
We're like 47 minutes in. We don't need. Let's fucking wrap it up and shit.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
Wrap this
All right.
shit
Well,
up.
thanks for tuning in. Yet another week. Some great interviews coming up next week. I know that I am Strick. You've been doing a great job of not badgering me to get more interviews in the can, and we don't even have that many. But I am working hard at getting all of those interviews in the can.
I appreciate that. I mean, you're staying ahead far enough. It's all good.
Yeah, when I go to in 2 weeks when I go to Italy, I think I'm going to fall behind. I'm doing my best to put in as many now, but maybe we should go back to one episode a week of one interview and one you and me, and then of course you're going to have the subbing co-host, whoever that may be. If you'd like to apply to be a co-host of the show for just a couple of weeks, Strickland is taking applications. I believe that Regis and Kelly Ripa is not available, but maybe Ryan Seacrest is. Strick, you think?
I hope so. That'd be good. Now,
how many
he's
downloads do you think we
guy.
would? How many downloads do you think we'd get if Ryan Seacrest would come on the show?
Downloads don't matter. I don't want to talk to Ryan Seacrest. I'd rather have like Jenny Bellinger or somebody else fun as a co-host.
Very true. Very true. So tune in a couple of weeks. You'll figure out who is the co-host when Strickland is here on his own. Until then, thank you for being here. Thanks for being a fan. And thanks for all the stuff that you do for us. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Do you think they could have rambled on any longer today? Blah, bitty, blah, bitty, blah, bitty, blah.